And we're back on CentralValleyTalk.com. Let's talk business. Let's talk football, which of course is big business. But this is a wonderful group called Keeping Youth Journeying Onward. And Kevin Jordan, long time no see.
No, it's been a few years.
Yeah,
Glad to be
we
here.
did an event together that a couple of years ago at Sierra Lanes, right up there on
Yes, it was.
Blackstone. And you're bringing it back. It's
Yes.
football players bowling.
Football players bowling, just creating those opportunities for the community and youth alike. Last year, we were able to have our football clinic, our second portion of the event, at Bulldog Stadium. For over 400 youth came in attendance. So it was another way for them to come, and it was free. A free
For the
football
kids.
clinic. Yes, for the kids. You know, and that's some things like that never happen. So we want to do this again with our second annual Big Bang Weekend, building a new generation.
Big Bang Weekend.
Yes,
I like
building
that.
a new generation.
I like that. For the folks who don't know anything about your organization,
Yes.
it's KYJO,
Keeping Youth
which I
Journeying
thought
Onward.
was a radio station at first, but that's what Keeping Youth Journeying Onward stands for. Tell everybody how it got started. What was your dream for this thing?
Well, originally I was a football player. You know, my dream was to play football, and I made it to Green Bay for a couple years, but I got hurt, so I had to end my career. My career got cut short. So what was I going to do with life after football? Well, it took me about a year and a half to really find my niche and my next passion, which was to work with kids. And the opportunity came when I worked for San Mateo County Probation Department in the juvenile hall. And you know what? I loved it, because these kids didn't have a chance. And without providing them an opportunity, guess what? All they're going to know, per se, is that street corner they know, just the neighborhood, just their family that is probably a negative influence on them. So I wanted to do something better and show them a different way of life. You know, something that they can really have something to hold on to and grasp. I can do this life after I get out the group home, or even before going to juvenile hall. And that's what I did. You know, it's always a negative connotation of the foster care industry as far as, you know, they're in for the money, they're doing this, they don't want to do anything for the kids. I wanted to change all that up. And so doing things like the Big Bang Weekend, showing them that they have the opportunity to be a sense of normalcy and live that life, they will have, will gain their strength and that self-confidence that they can do it. And it has worked thus far. And like I said, 3 years ago you saw it, and it's still going on.
Yeah, that was a fun night up there.
Right.
I want to go back to where you said you were working. Where was it? San Mateo?
San Mateo County.
So did you introduce football to these kids, or what did you do?
Well, actually, inside the hall, it had a thing called the Olympics. Juvenile hall, they had their own special Olympics. So with that, I took that out of the juvenile hall, and then also went to County at Valley Teen Ranch and see if we can get our own group home Olympics. And guess what? This year will be our 5th year doing our group home Olympics together. Nobody has ever thought that two different group home companies can get together and have something special like that and never have problems. Well, we have 5 years running. And then the reason why they have never did it is because the fear of the unknown, that they think it can't happen. Well, if you put your mind to anything, it can happen. And it has worked.
That's right.
Yes. I mean,
You're proof.
Right. Because like I said, the kids want to do right. But guess what? Society thinks that it can't happen. Well, if we tell them to do this, do that, well, how will they know if they're not taught and led that way? You know, so they're going to think, well, all they know is how they were brought up. Like I said, their street corner, the negative, all they know were the drug dealers and the gangsters who they had to look up to. So we come in and we show them, oh, no, you can do it like this. You can do this approach. And just offer it to them and show them. Now they are in tune to, hey, I can do what I learned at KYJO. Now, when I go back to the, so when they have their positive mindset, when they go home, you know what? I don't want to go, I want to go to school. We have so many kids now that say, I don't want to go back home because I want to graduate from high school. I want to go live with my auntie now because I understood the negative influence was not what I wanted. And so it's sad, but it's a true scenario. You know, you can be a product of your environment if you're not taught another way. And so that's where at KYJO we teach kids another way so they can understand it's more to life than what they grew up knowing.
Yeah. You take a bunch of kids off the street, and like at this bowling challenge coming up on July the 11th, and you have a lot of professional football players there. Those kids from the street are going to be impressed. They're going to pay attention.
Yes, they will. They will. You know, Ben, so my kids, I guess the kids that I run into at KYJO, they're kind of spoiled because they've been doing this since I've been in inception, since '07. And so now let's want to spread it to the community as well, because they probably need those opportunities too to meet these people and have a positive role models growing up. And so a lot of these players, they grew up the same way, you know, per se in the street, and then they just got an opportunity to live their life another way. And without that opportunity, they will probably just be just like the kids we take care of. So that's why we're all about creating those opportunities. And also, it's a way for the players to give back because a lot of the players don't know how to give back. And so you put them together, they inspire each other. I love it.
Look at some of the names you're bringing in here.
Yeah.
Well, I'll let you read them off here.
Lorenzo Neal,
Woo!
Lance Briggs, Isaiah Green, Billy Bolick, Michael Pittman, Philip Thomas, Garrett McIntyre, Isaiah Burst, Marcel Jensen, Tyler Klutz, Terrell Ade of basketball, Devontae Adams, Marlon Moore, Antoine Blake, Kelvin Beecham, Adolph Harris, Andrew Jackson, Lewis Leonard, Cameron Worrell, Chris Carter, Stephen Spock, Sean Spence, Shaq Richardson, Marquise Flowers, and Toby Wright, and many more that probably are not named.
Maybe Derek Carr, if he can squeeze it into his schedule,
Yes,
right?
yes.
A little bit busy training with the Raiders up there right now.
And a special basketball player. We'll see about that.
Ooh. All
Yes,
right.
Fresno's
All right.
finest. Yes.
Fresno's finest. Okay, so for the kids to attend, this is free.
Yes.
But the public is invited to come for a cost and spend the night there and meet all these big players.
Yes,
and
yes.
that's how the money goes into the program. Then.
Yes, go to the program, and also more so, just like I said, creating opportunities. We try to raise more so on our sponsorships. So that's why with the small cost of $40 per person, you get an event T-shirt, food, unlimited bowling, and also your shoe rental for 3 hours of fun.
And hang out with all those stars too.
That's it. Yes, but the biggest event is the free football clinic at Bulldog Stadium. Now we're going to open it up to.
That's the next day.
Yes, up to 500 kids at Bulldog Stadium.
July 12th.
Yes, that's an opportunity that who knows if we'll come back next year. I mean, that's the one thing that we do not want anybody to pass up and miss out. These players are really giving back to the community as well, and they love. So it's something that they probably per se never had an opportunity to do. So we're giving opportunities for everyone alike.
Okay. So tell everyone if they want to go to either of these events, what they can do.
To go to either one of these events, you can log on to KYJO.org, or we have a microsite just specially made for the event, which is www.bigbangfresno.org. That's www.bigbangfresno.org.
That's easy to remember.
Yeah.
BigBangFresno.org. Kevin, I love what you're doing.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Like I said, I went a couple of years ago at the bowling alley, and we had a blast that night.
Thank you.
I hope you have a really successful event.
Third
All right.
annual.
We'll be back with more on CentralValleyTalk.com.